Are we sure that Call of Duty's golden age actually existed? Don't worry, I'm not trying to Mandela affect you or anything. Obviously, we all remember such classics as Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, and Guerrilla Warfare, right? But what I mean is that as someone who grew up with these titles and somehow hasn't been burned out of the franchise over the last 15 years, there is a huge difference between how we talk about, say, Modern Warfare 2 today versus back then. Like, it was busted, and me and my friends at the time, I remember, could not wait for Black Ops 1 to come out and release us from the hellscape that was MW2. But yet now we look back on it as the golden age. You know, if you check anyone's franchise tier list, you'll find it pretty damn near the top like 80% of the time. And I feel like I'm going insane. Like, you guys do remember MW2, right? Like, remember this shit? And this shit, and this shit. But I'm by no means trying to sit here and say that I think current Call of Duty is better than old Call of Duty or anything else that would get me uninvited from the annual review bombing social. But what I am saying is that those older CODs aren't necessarily any better. My plan for today is to step into a bit of a time capsule to really figure out what people actually thought about each of these games way back when. And to do that, we're gonna be doing a little bit of what I call vibe science. You'll see, just cut to the next thing. So here we go, we're gonna prove that Call of Duty, always kinda sucked. That's our hypothesis up at the top. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I got something in my eye. If only I had some kind of eyewear to protect me. Since we're really not actually dealing with, like, any hard data, we're just kind of talking about vibes here. I figured, like, social media would be the best way of, like, getting a finger on the pulse of the community back then. The first one is, of course, YouTube, the one that we're currently on. Social as ever. And so what I want to do first is I'm going to find like an MW3 trailer. Yep, launch trailer for season 5. We have about 10,000 likes, and I'm going to round that up to 5,000
dislikes.
So that is our baseline. That's what we're going to compare to a couple other Call of Duty trailers from around this time in the life cycle, right? Around the time of the next game has been revealed, but not yet released. First of all, let's see what people are talking about here. People are still making fun of the fact that Soap is alive. That joke surely hasn't been beat to death more than, well, you know. Black Ops 6, where are you? Waiting on Black Ops. I'd play this game if it wasn't lagging like crazy. I'm only really reading the negative ones here. There isn't too much, like, positives that aren't just, like, drooling over hot woman. All right, so let's go back 5 years. 5 years ago was 2019. So, MW 2019. Okay, so for this one, the like to dislike ratio is completely different. Okay, I'm starting to worry my hypothesis isn't correct. Call that 150 to 4? I gotta get a calculator out now? God, this video is gonna be just disorganized as fuck, man. Yeah, most people are just talking about the download size, which is interesting because that's also something that we complain about a lot now, too. Like to dislike ratio wise, people liked these trailers a lot more, but comments were just as clowny, if that makes sense, if that's a scientific word. Let's go back 5 years before that, which was, I believe, Advanced Warfare. All right, like to dislike ratio, very similar, honestly, although way less likes. I'm actually, like, really interested to see the ratio of, like, every single one. Every single Call of Duty's official trailer for either Season 5 or DLC 3, depending on, you know, what system they have. So real quick, I'm gonna do that math, but I need both hands to do it, and I can't talk with both hands.
1 hour later.
The math is done. And what's interesting is that it kind of bows. It goes back and forth, right? The original MW3 actually has the lowest, with almost a 50-50 like to dislike ratio. Following that, unsurprisingly, is Infinite Warfare, and then the current MW3. But there's a lot actually bunched up around that 2x mark. You have the original MW2 at 2.1, you have Black Ops 1 at 3, and oh, I forgot to mention Vanguard. Vanguard is at 1.4x. It's pretty low as well. All's to say, it's not like we're in like some special category. As far as like YouTube dislikes, I guess, are concerned, I think that the numbers show for themselves that like the vibes are kind of all over the place. One other website I want to check out is Reddit. So I'm going to go first and foremost to the Modern Warfare 3 subreddit, and I'm gonna sort by top all time. I think the first few posts will give us like a good vibe of like what was going on during the time. Obviously, this game is still somewhat kicking, but we'll see what people are talking about right now at least. How the fuck is this a military shooter anymore? And it's the Teletubbies. We got a clip. We got a spawn clip. People don't like the spawns. Toxic over competitive players. People that play for fun. I feel that. I feel that in my bones. My scientific bones. What I'm looking for is like if you went to the developers and asked them, hey, what do you want people to be talking about with your game? This post wouldn't be on their spreadsheet, you know what I mean? But something like this grenade throw might be, or that is about it on here. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, let me go to like COD World War II, disconnect mega thread, kind of meme on the game. I think this would be mostly filthy. I thought that's a funny gag, using the game, not making fun of the game, just kind of making fun of the culture a little bit, maybe. This is another positive clip, I think. Okay, you know what? World War II is actually has pretty healthy, pretty healthy Reddit numbers. What game came after World War II? Was it BO4? Yeah, Black Ops 4, Profit versus Profit. That's another clip. Yep, still talking about microtransactions. Okay, so this one's getting worse. Honestly, just like flipping through here a little bit, I'd call this one like 50-50. What about the original Modern Warfare reboot, 2019? Talking about campers, a guy playing the drums and getting a kill with them back from when that was a fun challenge. Without a disrespect, fucking rage quitting or something. I think this is a pretty good meme, I think, maybe. I think this is a healthy meme, I should say. I lost the fucking plot. I'm being honest, dog. Okay, so I'm sitting down now because it helps visually represent that we're on a new chapter of this book now. I'm looking for actual cold, hard data. And for that, I'm turning to Metacritic.com. Now, these old games have overwhelmingly positive reviews. But if you like click over to, you know, actually check out the reviews, a lot of them are from, you know, this was 2 weeks ago. The day before that, last month. People hyping this game up decades after it actually came out. But what I want to find reviews from when the game was in its prime. We're just gonna scroll forever here. August 14th, 2010. We got an 8, 3, 2, 0. MW2 is an extremely overrated game with many problems. First of all, this game has more multiplayer flaws than any other video game released on the 360. God damn. We got a 10, but then we got a 1. We got an 8, we got a 9, we got a 10, but then we got a 6, and a 2, and a 3, and a 7. Game, not worth it, just hype. Not 0, because multiplayer is somewhat fun. Until it was ruined, then the game, blank story. The ops mode is dog shit? All I'm saying is you come down here and you see a lot more red than you do nowadays, right? If you come all the way up here, it's nothing but green, baby. Let's see with Black Ops 3. So Black Ops 3 actually has a lower score than MW2. Honestly, I'm seeing a lot less green than I was with MW2. Let's try Black Ops Cold War, because I feel like in recent memory, Cold War is like the last game that everyone is looking back on and being like, that was the shit. That was the year. Very first is a 6, followed by a 4, then a 5, then a 0. 2 0, 3 0. They went for the hat trick zeros. Game is not good, not fun, not worth your money. High hopes for this next installment, but oh Jesus, I was vastly disappointed. So much red, Jesus, dude. COD Ghosts has had like the biggest glow up in the last few years. Like I feel like more people praise Call of Duty Ghosts these days, and I have no idea why. Yeah, 4.4. But yet, you know, recent reviews, 10, 10, 8, 10. We got a 4. 8, 9. And then if we scroll all the way down, during its life cycle, I can almost guarantee you it's going to be like 3s across the board. Okay, so it actually started pretty nice. 9, 10, 10, 5, 9, 8. We got a 1. There's always 1. And then we get into the negatives. Interesting that it had like a first buffer. I mean, this is all still launch day, or at least launch week, right? Far more reds, I think, than green. It seems to be like maybe 2-to-1 right now. Like I said before, this isn't the best science. Again, this is vibe science, okay? I'm talking about vibes here. The vibe back then clearly was controversial. You know, some people liked it, most people hated it though. And again, speaking from my own flawed memory, that's exactly what I remember about this game back when it first came out. So I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that even though it weirdly feels good to hate on whatever's going on in the current dorky FPS that you're obsessed with, or even in life in general, and to look back on days past like they were the good old days, sometimes the good old days kinda sucked too. But you were able to make the most of it. You were able to find something to latch onto while wading through an endless sea of claymores and noob tubes. So maybe we need to start trying to enjoy the time that we're living in. Because who knows, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, you might be sitting there thinking the exact same thing, just wishing that you spent a little bit more time enjoying it, and less time complaining about it on the internet. Or just don't play a game that you hate. I mean, shit, dude.